It was an ordinary morning at ARHUARAN police station in Ogida, Benin City. But for me, it marked the beginning of a journey. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going on a journey deep into the heart of Edo State to uncover a legend buried in time, the story of a forgotten giant, Aruan of Udo. From the bustling street of Benin, I traveled westward through the forests and villages to a quiet town called Udo, once a mighty stronghold of the ancient Benin Kingdom. It is here nestled among the hills and whispers of the past that the name Aruan still echoes. Udo is more than just a town. It is a living archive. So for those of us that would love to visit Udo, it's a straight road. Yeah, it's a very straight road. I think this is a College of Agriculture, if I'm not mistaken. It's a big place. So it's a straight road. I think it's just 35 minutes drive from ARHUARAN police station. For those of us that want to use public transport like I did, it's just 35 minutes from ARHUARAN police station. If the car is fast. Here we are at the junction leading to Udo. You divert think to your left. This is the junction leading to Udo town. So we are going to be listening to an indigene to explain the untold story of Aruan to us. So listen and enjoy the rest of the video. And please, if you've not subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
We cannot talk about Prince Idubor without talking about Oba Esigie. Oba Esigie was the 16th emperor of Benin. He was a very powerful monarch, a warrior king. Oba Esigie had many wives. He had so many children. He was the father of Eze of Abo. He was the father of Alani of Idoani. He was the father of Olokwe of Okwe at Afema division. He was the father of Enogi of Idubor. He was the father of Aruan of Udo. He was the father of Oba Esigie. Now, we are going to talk about his 3 children who were at the forefront of history: Ogidogo, Osawe, and Idubor. Idubor's mother was Queen Ohomi, and Osawe's mother was Queen Idia. Queen Ohomi and Queen Idia were among the numerous wives of Oba Esigie. Queen Ohomi and Queen Idia happened to be favored by God. They gave birth on the same day because they were pregnant at the same moment. So while they gave birth on the same day, Idubor's mother, Queen Ohomi and Queen Idia pushed on the same day, like I said earlier. But it happened that luck ran against Queen Ohomi. Her baby did not cry. She had a bouncing baby boy. But the baby was not reported to Oba Esigie because he didn't cry. It was forbidden to report a baby that didn't cry to an Oba. While Oba Esigie waited at his courtyard with his chiefs for the good news from these 2 queens, Queen Idia gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. Queen Idia reported to Oba Esigie that she had given birth. Oba Esigie, without hesitation, quickly blessed this newborn baby. After the blessing, Queen Ohomi's child cried. When Queen Ohomi and her people presented this Idubor to Oba Esigie had no option. Even when they explained that he was the first son, Oba Esigie had no option than to place Idubor as the second and place Osawe as the first. While they grew, this didn't sit well with Idubor, who was the eldest, because he had to see Osawe as his eldest brother every day of his life. It happened that they had an elder brother called Ogidogo. Ogidogo was their eldest brother and the eldest child of Oba Esigie. Why Ogidogo was sidelined from ascending the throne was because when Idubor and Osawe grew up, they were playing across the palace at a pond called Agbodo Pond. The pond is at Ring Road in Benin, opposite the Oba's palace. While they were playing, Ogidogo joined them. As Ogidogo was trying to jump over the pond, he fell inside the pond and dislocated his 2 legs. This dislocation resulted to a disability for Ogidogo. Ogidogo became disabled, he became crippled. So it was forbidden as at that time, even till date, for a crippled person to become an Oba, because the woods of the palace are upright. This is a parable in Edo language. This automatically disqualified Ogidogo as the heir to the throne. When Oba Zolwa saw this, he quickly made Ogidogo the Enogie of Idubor community in Benin today. Osawe and Idubor grew up to become strong enemies. While they grew, Obazola, their father, was a great conqueror. He conquered none less than 201 towns and villages. Obazola extended the Benin Empire westward and eastward. While Obazola fought at other battles, Idubor, his son, who grew up as a giant, Idubor had deformity in the medical form, but physically or to the Edo people, this was a spiritual thing. Idubor had 6 toes to the front and 6 to the back. Idubor himself was a warrior. While his father conquered other territories, Idubor also fought in other communities with the people that were against his father's government. Idubor was said to have been a great conqueror himself. While he grew up as a giant, his enemies were very afraid of him. It was very difficult for them to know if he's coming or going due to the deformity of his legs, 6 toes to the front and 6 to the back. By size, Idubor was far bigger than Osawe. When Obazola saw this, Obazola quickly made Idubor a duke over a community in the west end of Benin called Udo. Udo was a historical community, a very great community as well. When Obazola noticed a community like this, he sent his son Idubor to become the duke of that community. Idubor becoming the duke of that community, his younger brother Osawe will still be the king in Benin after Obazola must have joined his ancestors. While Idubor was at Udo, he told Osawe that a time will come, he is going to conquer Osawe and his warriors, and he's going to retrieve the throne and make Udo the capital of the empire. Osawe also told him that he will make Benin to remain the capital forever. Not too long, in the late 1500s, their father Obazola went to a battle at Uzia. Unfortunately, Obazola was shot with a poisonous arrow by his own warrior. While they were trying to bring Obazola back into Benin, he passed on and joined his ancestors on their way. News quickly got into Benin that Obazola has joined his ancestors. In Benin, it's a tradition that wherever the father of the house is buried becomes the authority to all other children. This made Aruan, who is Idubor, and Osawe, who later became Oba Esigie, to send words of threat to each other. Idubor told Osawe that he was going to take the corpse from the warriors that were bringing the corpse into Benin. Osawe had people around him called Umenwe, advisors. Aruan had just one advisor. While these warriors were coming on the very great day, Aruan went to block these warriors on their way. While they were both waiting, Esigie also waited at his own point. Aruan's advisor told him that there's a plot made by Esigie, that they had a plan. The dirty corpse is where your father is lying, and the well-decorated one contained stones. Immediately, Idubor heard this. He knocked his advisor to the ground, and according to history, he perished immediately. Idubor quickly grabbed the well-decorated corpse and returned to Udo. Esigie took the tattered corpse. While Idubor was at the boundary between Udo and Benin, at Ovia River, he heard the ground guns called Owewe. They were shot at Ogbe in the palace of Benin. This was when he knew that Oba Zolua had been buried in Benin. With the pain and anger in his heart, without much delay, Idubor rushed into Udo community to prepare for war against his brother Esigie. While he was preparing, Oba Esigie was quickly crowned around 1504 as Oba Esigie, meaning don't drag my title, but over the years it was called Esigie, which is still fine. At Udo, the warriors, as at that time, were mainly farmers. They didn't have the skills of war, unlike the imperial army Oba Zolua had trained in Benin. These imperial armies guided the whole city of Benin and Oba Esigie himself. Oba Esigie became the grand commander of the imperial army. He had so much influence and power during his reign. Aruan got ready and left Udo. Before he left, let's not forget that Aruan had two sons, Pamabia and Onioni. These were his two sons. Pamabia passed away before this war took place. So Onioni was also said to have had this condition of giantism. Onioni sneaked and joined his father in this war. Before Aruan left Udo, he left a bear called Eo in Edo language. And he told his wife and the Udo people as at that time that if this bear should ring, they should know that he had been captured a prisoner at the battlefield. While he was fighting, he saw another young man destroying and unaliving people just like him. He was shocked because nobody had such power except him. And he spoke a word in Edo language that Agbevodo. Immediately he said this, his son collapsed to the ground and died immediately. When he went closer to this young man that died, he discovered that this was his son. In pain and anger, most of his warriors were already dead in the battlefield. He had to retreat to Udo. He had no option than to retreat. While he was retreating, due to the pain he felt, the magical bell started ringing at Udo community. The people of Udo started mourning and his wife started crying. While his wife cried, she couldn't bear the pain because they felt Aruan had been captured. So the wife went across the west end of Udo town, opposite a lake called Odiri, and she drowned herself. While Aruan got into Udo community, he asked about his wife. His wife was nowhere to be found, and the people told him that his wife had drowned herself. Aruan went across this lake called Odiri. When he got there, he drowned himself as well because he couldn't bear the pain of losing his wife and his son on the same day. He had no family anymore because he had issues with his brother, Esigie. The broom you are seeing at his hand is not just a broom or a statue work. This is a palm tree. According to history, Aruan swept his father's compound in Benin with a palm tree. He uprooted a palm tree. This is for you to know how giant he was. When he also got to Udo, he also swept the whole of Udo with an uprooted palm tree. This is why you see it close to his statue here. Oba Esigie had a successful reign, and during his reign, of course, according to history, so many things happened. Going to the history of Oba Esigie's successful reign is another long day. So we'll stop here for now, but in case you are seeing this statue, this is the history behind the statue of Aruan no Kemezi of Metinemenwe. This is the history. Thank you.